Firstly, the tools required. The tools required are around 3-4, but during the winters, only if the tip of this branch has new leaves. Listen to me carefully. Only if the tip has new leaves. Namaste everyone. Today we will have a short video on how to do jackfruit bud grafting. There are plenty of videos on YouTube explaining grafting for jackfruit, but I feel some of them are not appropriate or not explaining the right approach, or some of them are inefficient, because bud grafting itself is more suitable for jackfruit, and hence it is better to learn the right approach to bud grafting. I am not a very professional grafter, but I have practiced grafting for last 2 years and I have got a good enough success rate. So, I feel some of my learnings are useful for others to pick up as well. So, let us divide this video into some 3 parts. One is about the equipments or tools needed for grafting. The second is collection of scion and the care to be taken for collecting the scion. The third is the actual process of grafting, and fourth one we will open another plant which has already been grafted and which I feel is a success. So, firstly the tools required. The tools required are around 3-4. One is the grafting knife. I use the shaving blade for grafting. This is the most cheapest material available, and you can use it for a couple of times and throw it later on, and it is very sharp, very thin, hence makes the most precise cut. I feel this is better than most of the other grafting knives that are suggested elsewhere, maybe in YouTube or elsewhere. I generally keep it inside a box like this, so that it remains infection free. And another most important thing is this kind of a plastic tape, which I cut out from a larger bag which we use for storing arecanut. You can buy some similar bag from one of your nearby stores, and you can cut it accordingly. Basically, it should be this much thin, almost as much thin as your 1 unit of your finger. The other not so important, but still helpful equipment is one pen, a marker kind of a pen, using which you can write the date on the plant, so that you can remember the date on which you have grafted. You can to open it after 18 or 21 days or 25 days after grafting, and also to write down the name of the variety that you have grafted. If you are planting multiple varieties on the same day, it helps. And another equipment is this kind of a secatcher or any other similar cutting tool to collect the scion. I have collected a Thailand pink variety of scion. Generally, when I cut the scion, I keep it inside a moist cloth like this, so that it does not retain does not lose its moisture. This kind of a green twig is most helpful. During this season, during April-May season, just before the rains, almost all twigs give out the scion easily, give out the bud, let you pluck out the bud easily. But during the winters, only if the tip of this branch has new leaves, listen to me carefully, only if the tip has new leaves, only then the bud will come out. The bud from here will come out if you make the 4 cuts around it. Otherwise, however much you pull it, the bud will not come out at all. This was a very subtle point which I didn't know earlier. This was told to me by a veteran grafter, Krishna Kedilaya. He was very helpful in giving me that information, and because of which I became a successful grafter later on. Now, let us go to the actual grafting procedure directly, without much of introduction. So, I will take the knife or the blade and make a square cut or rectangular cut with one side uncut, basically 3-sided cut on this host plant. So, basically we should make one horizontal cut and 2 vertical cuts. The size of this cut need not match fully with the size of the bud that you are going to cut. but if they match reasonably well, it will be good. So, you should wipe out this exuding milk as much as possible, so that the milk does not get stuck on to the scion that you are going to graft, because it will cause infection, later it will get rotten. So, now we have made 3 cuts here. Now, I will carefully pluck out from here. So, this should result in a rectangular opening here. You see, there is a small imperfection here. So, I will correct it by making it precise. So, now we have a placement for our bud. So, this tongue you can cut it almost 2/3 and retain one small piece of it for the bud to be held. Now, what is a bud? See, if you notice this twig carefully, my camera may not be very precise here. You can go physically to one of the jackfruit trees and observe. At the base of every leaf, there is one small dot which has the potential of growing into a new branch. So, that dot itself is called a bud. So, that dot if we collect carefully and place it on any other tree, then it is going to grow to a new jackfruit tree altogether. So, that is the beauty of grafting. By doing grafting, of course, we will get jackfruit of very interesting varieties, but what we will also understand is an inexplicable beauty of nature, which has a potential of growing a full fledged tree from just one dot. So, now we have made 4 cuts around this bud, and let us pluck out the bud now. See. So, this is how we should pluck out the bud, and it is very neatly, very nicely come out. Now, you should not touch any of these open parts with your bare hands, because all of our hand and dress and everything will have fungal spores invariably. So, if we touch the open wound, then the fungal spores will get spread onto transferred onto the wound, and it will cause infection. Now, we should retain this petiole for placing it properly here until here, and now we need to remove it off, because that will prevent us from clasping the plastic around it. So, you can almost remove it 90% or 95%, and you can retain a small stump on it. So, now we have placed it and it has held firmly there, at least it is not falling down because of the tongue that we have left out. So, that much of tongue is okay, and now we should start clasping the plastic around it. You can start from almost an inch below the bud, and you have to go clasping spirally around it, like a ladder or the staircase structure. Here at every round you can slightly pull it, so that the plastic is held tightly around the stem. So, now we are clasping the plastic around the bud itself. Here the bud because of the spiral pulling, the bud might go out of its original position. You should correct it, or you should prevent it from slipping with your thumb. So, now we have covered the bud completely, and it is time for us to finish this knot. So, the approach that I follow is with the left hand thumb and index finger I hold it like this. I hold it tightly, so that the entire spiral circles do not get loosened, and you can, if you want, you can narrow it like this by making a few circular movements, and after that you have to put it around this circle that is formed, and you can keep a thumb like this, so that it does not get loosened, and then start pulling it carefully. So now it is reasonably tightened. Now you can further tighten it by slightly giving pushes onto the plastic. Please take care not to push the bud itself. You should keep your finger above the bud. In this procedure, don't make any harm to the bud. You can put another knot so that the first knot does not get loosened. So this is all, and we have finished actually grafting one bud. If we are lucky enough, then this would have succeeded, and we will end up getting a new Thailand pink variety of jackfruit tree. Now it is time for us to write the date and variety. I generally nowadays write on this plastic itself. I will write TP indicating Thailand pink, and today's date 12th of April. So people suggest to wait for 21 days or 25 days. Some people suggest 40 days and all. Depending on their location, the number of days might vary slightly. I only wait for 18 days, and I have seen good success in my grafts. There are cases where I have opened in 13 days itself, but I don't suggest it always. If the knot was too tight, and if the fluid movement itself is getting blocked, and you can see one depression on the stem, then you can open it earlier. Otherwise, you wait, please wait for 18 days, and after that only you open. So let us open one of the earlier grafts that we have done. Both these grafts I have done on wild jackfruit tree, which is you can notice the leaves. I will also write the scientific name on the video. You can also graft on the jackfruit itself, but the wild jackfruit I feel is more resistant to drier climatic conditions, and it has stronger root system. That's why I think it is better for unirrigated plantations. So now let us open carefully. So let us cut open the first knot that we have made, and now we should open the second knot that we have put. So now it is free. Now we should just unspiral the plastic. So there it is. Our graft, the bud that we have grafted is still very green, and it is clearly showing the signs of life. The bud is slightly activated, and in coming 15 days it will start coming out. At this point we have to cut the shoot from around 2-3 inches above the graft, and the bud will now get activated, and it will grow to a new jackfruit tree. So until now it was a wild jackfruit variety of plant. Now it will get converted to a jackfruit tree, and it will yield jackfruit to us in coming 3-4 years. So that's about the whole procedure of grafting. So all the best to all of you. Grafting is a very interesting hobby. It lets us see the beautiful capability of nature to grow a small point to a full-fledged tree. So I have derived immense happiness out of grafting, and we can, if we graft at home, we can make grafted good variety plants, and we can gift to our friends and relatives, and if you are interested, you can sell them as well. So thanks a lot, and all the best. This is one of the many results that I have got from grafting. See, this tree was actually spoiled halfway from here. The stem itself was affected by insects, but I have cut it from here, and below part is very healthy. So from when the new shoot came, I have grafted the Thailand red variety, Dung Surya variety jackfruit on this. Look at the vigor in which it is growing. This is because it has a strong root system of a huge tree, but the bud that we have placed has got the support of an extraordinary root system which was already existing. So it is growing very strongly with a very good vigor. You can see how where the grafting was done, and the above part of the grafting has already died here. The dead twig you can notice. So this is called top working. We can also do it on the nursery bag plants. The principle of grafting is the same. So all of us can do grafting at home in small scales and donate very good quality grafted plants as gifts to our friends and relatives, or even if you want to sell, you can sell. So it's a very interesting hobby dealing with the live plants. All the best to all of you.